Good evening and welcome to the Connecticut Science Center's 2021 Virtual Gala, Thank You Science. My name is Matt Fleury, President and CEO of the Connecticut Science Center. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Science Center, the Gala Committee, and the full Science Center team, welcome to all of you who are tuning in for this special night. We thank you, our many supporters, and sponsors, including lead sponsors, Harvest Investments. Thank you, Roger. Thank you to Mark Paley. Thank you, Sandra and Luann, for all your support over the years. And thank you to our dear friends travelers who helped build the Science Center and are still with us tonight. And thank you to the Gala Committee for your tremendous dedication and support. Your contribution, whether it be a ticket purchase, sponsorship, buying a silent auction item, or a donation right here during tonight's event, which you can do, goes directly to funding our mission for people of every gender, every color, every background, every orientation, inspiring lifelong learning through interactive and innovative experiences that explore our changing world through science. Tonight we say thank you. Thank you, science. You know, last year we said, love science, and together we can find a way. And we did. Science did. Science has enabled us to begin to return to the things that make life rich and satisfying. And it will continue to help us to pave the way forward for developing life-saving vaccines and treatments and more. We celebrate the scientists who work to keep us safe. We celebrate the healthcare workers who use science to protect us and to save our lives. And we thank the teachers who have educated our kids throughout the pandemic in the most challenging circumstances. And we celebrate you, our most generous supporters. It is you who make science inspiration and critical STEM careers a possibility for all members of our community. Before we get started with tonight's program, here's a quick word from the leader of the Connecticut Science Center Board, Mr. Bill Malugin.
Hi, I'm Bill Malugin. I'm Executive Vice President of National Accounts at Travelers, and I also serve as Board Chair of this incredible Science Center. Travelers is dedicated to providing all students with opportunities for academic and career success, and we greatly admire the Science Center's mission in bringing science to life with its state-of-the-art, hands-on exhibits that spark an interest in STEM and encourage continuous learning. We are also proud to partner with the Connecticut Science Center and sponsor this gala. I hope you all enjoy the event. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you again to Bill and to Travelers, and thank you to all of our steadfast supporters, the scientists, and all the heroes of the pandemic, and to my colleagues, my valued, treasured, respected colleagues, the Connecticut Science Center professionals. Serving our visitors as you have throughout the pandemic, thank you to every visitor, parent, child, every member who ventured out to the Science Center over the past 18 months or engaged with our virtual and at-home programs. Tonight, we're going to share some special behind-the-scenes content with you from inside the Science Center. We're going to give you an exclusive look at things that make your visit to the Science Center so special. We will solve some of the hard-hitting and biggest mysteries from the Science Center exhibits. For example, where does all that water from the spouts and spirals from KidSpace come from, and where does it go? To help us, please welcome meteorologist Mark Dixon from Channel 3 and the Connecticut Science Center's Aoife Ryle. You know them so well from their weekly Science Sunday segments on WFSB.
Aoife, this is one of your permanent, more popular exhibits, KidSpace.
Yes, and so we actually get a lot of questions about this exhibit, particularly about all this water. Where does it come from, and how do we treat it? So do you want to go check out how we do that?
I think we should go investigate, yes.
All right, let's go take a
All
look.
right. Okay, Aoife, so now we're in the filtration room directly beneath KidSpace where we just were.
Yes, So this is the room where we filter all that water through a variety of filters. It gets treated, and then it gets pumped 40 feet back up to that tank upstairs. And this tank can actually go from 0 to full in about 8 minutes.
Incredible.
Hi, how are you? This is James Fairweather from Pitney Bowes, a proud sponsor of the Connecticut Science Center. We have been a sponsor of the Science Center now for many years, sponsoring both Kids Space and Our Changing Earth, two exhibits that help children both understand what it means to play and also understand climate change and what's happening to our Earth. We believe the dedication to education and the dollars invested in young people in their education early on, some of the most valuable dollars you could spend. We thank the Science Center. We thank everyone that is a part of the Science Center, the staff and team that have kept this operation going throughout this pandemic, and we'll carry it well into the future. Thank you, Science.
Thank you, James, for your kind words, for your service on the Board of Trustees, and for the great t-shirt. Maybe we can auction it off at next year's gala. And we want to thank all of James's colleagues at Pitney Bowes, which has been a founding supporter of the Connecticut Science Center and continues to carry us forward. By now, I hope you have had a chance to lend your support by taking advantage of the opportunity to bid in our silent auction. You can find some great items: the Connecticut Science Center STEM in a Box at Home experiences, golf outings, family adventures. I'll even play the banjo for you and feed you barbecue at my backyard, if you dare. There's much more too. If you're watching live, bidding will continue until 8 o'clock tonight. You can also enter to win a great outdoor wine cooler and a gift certificate from M&R Liquors to stock it full, all thanks to Lori and David Hess and our Gala committee. The winner will be announced at the end of the program, and everyone who purchases a chance to win will receive a special gift thanks to our great friends at Liberty Bank. Also, don't forget to share and post on your social media feeds with the hashtag #ThankYouScience. All right, now we're going to play a game called What is Justin Doing? Justin Riley. Justin is such a fine member of the Connecticut Science Center team, one of our talented STEM educators, and he works to facilitate our teen programs. He is a friend, a teacher, a mentor to kids every year in the most special ways, and throughout the school year as well as during the summer. So everyone at home, you can play along by watching this video and going into the chat to tell us, what is Justin doing? I'll pick one lucky winner at random for a 4-pack of Science Center tickets. So let's see. What is Justin up to? Do not adjust your sets. That was Justin, and he was doing something. Do you know what it was? Well, make sure to put your guesses in the chat. We're going to share some of your guesses and pick a winner after our next video. Our educators, like Justin, they tinker, innovate, test, fail sometimes, retest and retool. So much great content for visitors and school audiences. And some of that content informs our virtual Science at Play series that you can find on the Science Center's blog. Here's one example of Science at Play with another talented member of our team, STEM educator Nick Villagra, known to kids across Connecticut as Mr. Nick, telling us a little more about Justin's mysterious Tesla coil.
Hi everybody, my name is Nick and thank you so much for supporting science. This year our gala is going fully virtual and we have electricity to thank for that. Now, you might think that you need to harness electricity by using wires, but I have something here to show you that you can do it without wires at all. It's known as a Tesla coil, and I want to start by turning it on and seeing what happens. The First, I'm going to need my safety goggles. And here we go. Wow. So clearly, this produced a lot of sparks, and so we're generating electricity. But believe it or not, electricity is invisible. When we see a spark, what we're seeing are charged particles leaping off of this metal surface and igniting air molecules. But how can we harness electricity to do something for us, like, say, light up a bulb? There's only one way to find out. Let's turn it on again and see what happens. Okay, round two. Oh boy, so not only do those charged particles leap off, but they can leap right through the wires of a bulb and light it up. And so you can use this fact that charged particles can leap through the air to encode signals that allow us to speak to you virtually. Thank you so much again for supporting science, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the gala.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Glidden. I'm President and CEO of Liberty Bank. Liberty Bank is so proud to sponsor Connecticut Science Center Annual Gala. So thank you, Connecticut Science Center, for engaging and enlightening our youth.
And thank you, David Glidden, for serving on the Board of Trustees at the Connecticut Science Center and for your generous personal support and that of Liberty Bank. And thank you to Nick and to Justin. That was a lot of fun. Looked dangerous. I'm glad we have professionals to do these experiments. So it was pretty cool. Let's see what you thought Justin was up to. Here are some of the guesses. Static electricity, looked like a safe bet, though safe might not be the right word. Demonstrating static electricity, waving around glow sticks, I could see that. A Tesla coil, pretending he was a Jedi. Star Wars fans among us agree. The Van de Graaff generator, and the winner, who got it right, is Dr. Robin Santiago. Congratulations. Now, the work at the Connecticut Science Center encompasses more than just programs and the exhibits that you see. Behind the scenes, our continuing work to foster a culture and practice of equity and inclusiveness is something that we strive for each and every day. Our Employee Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Access Working Group inspires ongoing awareness and appreciation of diversity within our organization. Our management team is working hard to meet an ambitious set of specific objectives within our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Access Strategic Plan, which was adopted by the Board of Trustees. Behind the scenes, this work includes employee surveys, training for every member of the staff on diversity and equity and inclusion awareness, facilitated candid conversations, and a plan of action to make sure that everyone feels welcome at the Connecticut Science Center. Everyone. And that everyone has the opportunity to benefit from science in their lives and careers. We explore real-world topics for the public internally through internal employee conscious conversations and through public programming like Straight Talk. In fact, on October 14th, I invite you to join us for our next Straight Talk, Native American Contributions to Science and Medicine. We are partnering for this program with the Mashantucket Pequot Museum. We're so pleased that they will host this program and participate in its presentation. Please do join us. Then in December 9th, join us for a special screening of the film Coded Bias with special guest director and producer Shalini Kantaya. Investigating Bias in Facial Recognition Algorithms. That's December 9th. Now here's a sneak peek of this groundbreaking documentary.
During my first semester at MIT, I got computer vision software that was supposed to track my face. It didn't work until I put on this white mask. I'm thinking, all right, what's going on here? Is it the lighting conditions? Is it the angle at which I'm looking at the camera, or is there something more? That's when I started looking into issues of bias that can creep into technology.
Our ideas about technology that we think are normal are actually ideas that come from a very small and homogeneous group of people.
Vast amounts of data at incredible speeds.
Everybody has unconscious biases, and people embed their own biases into technology.
This kid got stopped as a result of facial recognition misidentification, and then used that as justification to search you. This is an innocent child.
Racism is becoming mechanized.
Systemic issues are only going to be hardwired into new technologies.
It's not just face classification, it's any data-centric technology.
Every day, we are all being scored.
Who gets hired, who gets housing.
I am making predictions for your life right now.
The people who own the code deploy it on other people, and there is no accountability.
Management at Atlantic Towers wanted to install the facial recognition software.
Pretty much turn this place into Fort Knox.
The technology is being rapidly adopted, and there are no safeguards.
We are socially controlled in a way that we don't see.
Technology that analyzes faces could be biased, but the company is pushing it anyway.
What demographic is it most effective on?
White men.
Show me that it's going to be fair, that it's legal, before you put it out. That's what we don't have yet.
It's going to take people coming together, striving for justice in this age of automation.
These are truly crucial science topics for our society to grapple with, and we're doing our best to enter that conversation and facilitate the dialogue necessary. Please join us for Straight Talk, Native American Contributions to Science and Medicine from the Pequot Museum, October 14th, and then Coded Bias, December 9th. Your support of the Connecticut Science Center makes these important conversations possible, and your generosity this night will continue to help us bring these topics to light. We thank you again for being with us. Many of you watching had hoped that we would be convening for the gala in person this year. We did too, believe me. While the decision to pivot to a virtual event was difficult, we knew clearly it was the right decision to make. And tonight we thank our Gala committee who worked tirelessly to make this switch and to bring you tonight's virtual event. And special thanks to the Gala co-chairs, Meryl Bronstein and Jennifer DeBella, for your leadership throughout the year. Thank you both. Let's hear from them now.
Hello and welcome. My name is Meryl Bronstein.
And I'm Jennifer DeBella.
Together, we're co-chairs of the Gala Committee for this year's virtual Connecticut Science Center Gala, Thank You Science. While we had hoped to be in person this year, we're thrilled and grateful that you have joined us from the comfort of home in support of the Connecticut Science Center. Thank you for being with us.
As you all know, this is the Connecticut Science Center's largest fundraising event of the year. And given the continued challenging times, this gala is even more critical to helping the Science Center continue to deliver its mission to our families, schools, and community.
Tonight, you will have the opportunity to show your support for the Connecticut Science Center by bidding in the silent auction, purchasing a ticket for a chance to win a spectacular outdoor wine cooler, and making a donation to support our STEM education programs. We encourage you to bid often and bid high. The silent auction will close at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, we thank you for your incredible generosity.
We'd like to take a moment to thank this year's fantastic Gala committee. This group has worked throughout the year to bring you this evening's program. Please join us in thanking them, Science, and the Science Center during tonight's program by posting on social media with the hashtag #ThankYouScience.
We would also like to thank the Connecticut Science Center's Board of Trustees who have guided the Science Center through the pandemic and its recovery. Thank you for all you do.
Each sponsor, table host, auction bidder, and donation contributor feel proud to support such a fantastic organization. Also, special thanks to the Gala's presenting sponsors, Harvest Investments and Travelers. Thank you.
Now, without further delay, back to Matt and tonight's program. Thank you all again for being here.
Hi everyone, I'm Aoife, a STEM educator here at the Connecticut Science Center. And over the past year and a half, we've seen so many heroes in science. We're really proud to showcase them. Different STEM professionals from all fields have come together and worked to help us get through. And so I wanted to share with you one field you might not have heard of, and that's dry ice production. So dry ice is used to transport food, preserve biological supplies, extinguish fires, and over the last couple of months, it's also been used to help transport vaccines. Some vaccines like Pfizer's and BioNTech's have to be kept cold so that the mRNA in them doesn't degrade. And that's where dry ice comes in. So let's learn a little bit more about it. First things first, like we said, dry ice is used to keep things cold. It's actually negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have my safety equipment here so I don't get frostbite. Now, I have some dry ice pellets in here. You'll see those. They're in a solid form. And I'm gonna heat them up a little bit by pouring some hot water in here. We're gonna see what happens. So you'll notice that gas coming off. So dry ice does this really fun thing. When that solid gets warmer, instead of turning into a liquid like we would expect, it turns straight into a gas. And so we can see that gas inflating this balloon here. And that's that solid dry ice turning into a gas. So we'll pop this off before it explodes and scares me. And there's our gas. All right, so what is that gas? What is dry ice made out of? We can actually investigate that using something called the universal indicator. So this will change different colors depending on whether it's in the presence of an acid or a base. So if it has something like a base on that side of the pH scale, this is gonna go blue. If it comes in contact with an acid, it's gonna go yellows, oranges, reds. So let's put our dry ice in there and pretty quickly you can see this turning yellow, orange, red, meaning we have an acid here. And so dry ice is an acid. It is actually made of carbon dioxide, which is acidic. And so we can see that color change here, which is telling me this is a pretty acidic gas that's coming off our carbon dioxide. Okay? And we can learn one more thing about carbon dioxide that I want to show you using this box here that has some dry ice at the bottom. So like we said, that carbon dioxide gas is coming off. It's filling this box, and it's actually denser than air. So it's heavier than the air, and I can show you that by blowing a bubble with some air. And you'll notice it, look at it, almost like magic. It's just hovering. It's resting on that cushion of carbon dioxide, right, which is heavier than the air, so it's able to hold up that bubble of air. It's pretty cool, right? So, as we see, we can have some fun with dry ice, right? I mean, look at this, this is fun. But dry ice also has helped us ship these life-saving vaccines. So, thank you, dry ice, and thank you, science.
Wow, Aoife, that was great. Have you noticed how good our team has become at doing video presentation? A pandemic will do that to you. We've reached thousands of people all across the country that way by getting good at presenting science online, virtually, so that even a pandemic can't stop the science message from reaching those who need to hear it. So you remember when we used to put that dry ice in our drinks at the Gala? Who knew it could be used for so many things? In all seriousness, Aoife's demonstration just shows us again how important the scientific applications of something we're all familiar with, like dry ice, can really be. Just another reason to say, thank you, science. And thank you to our educators, all of them, at the Science Center and in the classrooms, and yes, the Zoom rooms, everywhere, for teaching our kids how science applies to their everyday lives. In a moment, we will recognize some of these educators with our 2021 STEM Achievement Awards, presented by our very, very good friends, Stanley Black & Decker. First, though, we're reminded that innovation is not without trial and error, and take our hats off to our Science Center educators for their quick shift to virtual instruction and the tenacity to figure it out along the way.
Over the past year and a half, we here at the Connecticut Science Center have pivoted quickly to a virtual landscape to continue to serve our audiences. And we've gotten pretty good at it. We've engaged over 13,000 students through our live interactive programs. We've explored STEM with over 1,000 STEM in the Box participants. And we've created over 450 digital content pieces to help families at home experiment and learn together. However, full disclosure, we haven't always been this Oscar ready. Please enjoy some bloopers brought to you by our education team.
I heard you start and I'm not ready.
Hi there, I'm Nick. I'm a Connecticut Science Center. I am not a Connecticut Science Center.
Your senses.
Your senses, right.
So our main senses are sight, sound, taste, touch, and...
I'm Nick. I did it again. I'm a STEM educator. Remember what you are. Remember who you are.
I'll split your lemonade into 2 metal cups. Oh no, I only have 1.
I'm Nick.
Like these things kind of look like lava lamps.
Yeah, that's actually, that's a cool, oh shoot, can we do that over?
Starting with this one, vinegar is an example of an acid.
Ah, yes, acid.
Probably heard of acid, scary acid.
Right, yeah.
All right, let's see what happens.
Intense.
Pressure is just getting to me. All right, any second now. So yeah. All right, well, let's just cut there.
Hello, I'm Mark Maybury, Stanley Black & Decker's first Chief Technology Officer at World Headquarters in New Britain, Connecticut. Speaking to you as your neighbor across the road from the Connecticut Science Center at 1 Constitution Plaza in our manufactory or factory of the future. It's an honor to serve with like-minded leaders on the Connecticut Science Center board. Stanley Black & Decker has been a long-term supporter of the Science Center in the STEM Achievement Award. On behalf of our 57,000 associates around the globe, we join in honoring the mentors, sponsors, educational partners, and volunteers working to enhance the STEM workforce, which is essential to our economic, social, and national well-being. We hope the recognition helps inspire STEM leaders of the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joel Torres. I'm from the Teen Innovation Program at the Connecticut Science Center. I'm the 2021 STEM Achievement Award Youth Honoree. I'm going to University of Connecticut and I'm majoring in electrical engineering. When I initially started this program 4 years ago, I was shy, I was introverted. Now 4 years later, I've been able to go out on the floor confidently and most people look up to me and I think that's really incredible. So I think one of the biggest things that this program has done for me is made me realize what I'm interested in as a career and for my future. So initially, I didn't really have a complete focus on what I wanted to do, but they started to introduce things related to programming that we could use for our projects. And because of this, I was actually able to work with circuits and wires and program and do even some woodworking and whatnot. And this helped me realize that I wanted to go into an engineering field, specifically electrical engineering. And looking now, 4 years ago, I don't think I would have ever realized that that's what I wanted to go into. But now I've realized that this is what I am most passionate about as a career. For those that are shy and anxious, I think one of the biggest important parts of growing is to simply try out new things. You never know until you try, and that's one of the things that I carry around with me the most, because if I didn't try going out on the floor and talking to visitors about science, I don't think I've ever would have realized that education is actually a really fun and really rewarding job. And same with science. I don't think that if I ever tried to program something without having any knowledge whatsoever, I would be so incredibly interested in engineering and technology. And trying something new and putting yourself into a position that you're not entirely comfortable with can sometimes really help you grow as a person. I think one of the most important things that educators have done for my growth is definitely just being able to see that everyone learns at a different pace. And as an educator, I think that it's really important and crucial to acknowledge that. I want to really thank the Science Center for giving people of all backgrounds, of all ages, an opportunity to learn and get involved in science. Thank you, science.
Joel is a great young man. He spent the recent summer with us as part of the teen program, and he's come such a long way, and I think you'll agree, he's very impressive. This is the first year we're recognizing an honoree in the youth category. You can bet we're going to do it again. This new award recognizes and celebrates a student in grade 8 through 12 who has shown curiosity, achievement, and real leadership in one or more STEM fields, and through promoting science, technology, engineering, and math. Joel has been a member of the Teen Innovation Program for a number of years now. I want to thank Joel and all of the teens who were in the program this year and years before, and all of those who support and operate the Teen Innovation Program at the Connecticut Science Center. In a moment, we'll hear from the 2021 STEM Achievement Award honoree, Tara Jo Holmberg. Choosing these honorees is always a difficult deliberation. We're inspired by the work of all the nominees. I would like to recognize this year's finalists for the 2021 STEM Achievement Individual Award, as well as the 2021 STEM Achievement Organizational Honoree, and celebrate their achievements. We thank them for sharing our mission to inspire lifelong learning through interactive and innovative experiences that explore our changing world through science. So now, let's hear from our 2021 STEM Achievement Award honoree, Tara Jo Holmberg.
I'm Tara Jo Holmberg. I'm professor of environmental science and biology at Northwestern Connecticut Community College. I'm the 2021 STEM Achievement Award honoree. So we humans are connected to the environment in all ways, shapes, and forms. It's in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. And sometimes I think in our day-to-day lives, we get separated from this idea that we are of the environment and part of the environment. And so I think to address many of the problems that we have, including things like climate change and toxic pollution and food insecurity and all these other things, that in order to get to being able to make decisions, these really important decisions that we need to be making now, it takes becoming connected again to our environment, to kind of nature, and understanding that we are not apart from it, that we are a part of it. And as much as we affect it, it will in turn affect us. But in terms of working with adults and getting them back engaged with nature, there are a few things that involve changing mindsets. And one of the things I love to do with my students is to have them change the language that they use. So many of my students come into my classes and they have never really spent a lot of time outside. And so one of the things that we do is we don't use certain words. We don't use words like gross. We don't use words like disgusting. Instead, we use words like interesting, so that when they get out there into the field, whether we're in a river, in a forest, or we're doing something in a lab that is maybe a little uncomfortable, that they start to change their language, and by changing their language, they start to change their mindset. And they're willing to explore further. There were a number of disparities that came even more to light during the pandemic, the largest likely being internet access, having computers at home, things that made it harder for a lot of students to be able to do remote learning. We also know that throughout the pandemic that it was very difficult for families to kind of balance work, school, all of these other responsibilities, distractions that happen when you're learning from home. I really do want to give a shout out to all of the educators, librarians, tech support, counselors across the country and beyond for all of the amazing work that they did through the pandemic. We as educators, put our all into this. When it comes to educators, justice, diversity, equity, and inclusivity, so JEDI work, should be a career-long, lifelong process. And inclusive teaching helps STEM as a field in all ways. So by going to workshops, by learning through self-exploration, by doing implicit bias training, by reading, all of these things can help to make our classrooms more inclusive. And then by sharing and talking and collaborating with other educators and learning from one another, all of these things can all help to make STEM less exclusive and more inclusive in the end. Thank you, science.
Hello, I'm Dara Chase Dyer.
And I'm Landon Chase. And we're excited to tell you about the newly unveiled Genome and Me exhibition at the Connecticut Science Center, sponsored by the Chase Bear Dyer family.
This important new exhibit invites visitors to take a closer look at the cutting-edge science of genomics. Visitors will discover how we are both unique and connected to others because of our genome.
We support the Connecticut Science Center because our family believes in the importance of education, and we'd like to thank the Science Center for providing accessible, unique, engaging, and most of all, fun experiences for all members of our community. Thank you, Science.
Thank you, Dara and Landon, and to the entire Chase Bear Dyer family for your support. I'd like to recognize especially Cheryl Chase for her years of service as a founding member of the Connecticut Science Center Board of Trustees. And congratulations again to Joel and to Tara Jo. Such impressive individuals, impressive vision, impressive work. You are world changers. I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for your contributions to science and for allowing us to recognize you tonight. And thank you to all of you who are watching for supporting this work, for supporting the Connecticut Science Center. A couple of quick reminders. If you're watching this live, bidding for the auction continues through 8 o'clock tonight and can be accessed on this page. Please continue to bid high, bid often on the fantastic packages that we've assembled. There's still time to purchase your ticket to enter to win a wine cooler and a gift certificate to stock it. The winner will be announced live at the end of this program. You can also make a donation, straight up, help the cause. Raise your paddle for the Science Center virtually. You can do it by texting TY Science to 44321. Text TY Science to 44321 with your donation, or you can do it through this page. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and say thank you also to the Paddle Raise leadership donors. Our thanks to the board chair, Bill Malugin, and his lovely wife, Nancy. Thank you so much for your contribution to our appeal tonight. Thank you to John Lundgren and Tamara Adler. John, we value your continued leadership on our Board of Trustees. And to our dear friends, Paul and Heather Zatola. Heather is just a marvelous educator in her own right, and Paul's a pretty darn good dentist. See what I'm saying? I also want to thank our friends Bob and Leanne McAllister, who are supporting us tonight. And we've received a gift from another wonderful member of our board who's so generous so often with her time and her treasure. Thank you, Jane Milas. Don't forget to check out the Science Center's Down to a Science blog, additional at-home science activities with our educators, and full acceptance remarks from tonight's award honorees, also on the landing page. Now, let's take you back behind the scenes with the Connecticut Science Center staff. Our team, down to just 64 employees after the pandemic, has and continues to work diligently and incredibly hard to bring the Science Center's mission to you, to our schools, to our communities across Connecticut and often beyond. You see many of our team members out there in the exhibit galleries, but they're also far and wide in the community and tucked away throughout the Science Center, collaborating, innovating, and making the Science Center run in many ways. Mark and Aoife recently took a walk around to check in with some of our team members, my colleagues. Check it out.
All right, so I'm outside of Liam's office. Liam actually is right over here. He's the exhibit manager, of course. Can you let us know what a Connecticut Science Center secret is?
So a secret in the exhibits department, I would say, so we have a lot of computers that run our exhibits. And in the background, behind what you see, behind the interactive component, some of these computers are doing actual scientific work. They're connected to a grid network of a few different universities scattered around the world, and they're actually doing scientific research, some cancer research, some COVID research. So not only are visitors learning about science, the exhibits are actually doing science.
Right now we're at Kayla's desk. Kayla's one of our STEM educators. I see you're doing some programming here, it looks like, but do you have anything kind of weird on your desk?
I have actually. It's kind of, we did this during one of our STEM camp things. I actually have a vial of my very own DNA.
Oh.
So just in case anything happens, it's here and you can clone me so I can come back.
Perfect.
All right, and over here we've got Max, the website and marketing coordinator. Max, what are you working on right now?
Right now, I am working on this page called Visitors with Special Needs.
This is Adam. He's our exhibit design and fabrication lead. Adam, what does that title mean?
That means I build and design exhibits with different people here in different departments and sort of help realize what help them realize their vision.
All right, I'm here with Lizette, the membership coordinator at the Connecticut Science Center. What is your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is that every day is something new and it's a great source for science learning.
All right, this is Nate, one of our STEM educators. Now, okay, you have this desk mate here. Can you tell us who this is?
Yeah, so this is Pepper. Pepper's a robot, and obviously, and we bring Pepper out on the floor, and the kids get to actually program Pepper to dance and run around and do a lot of really, really cool, fun things in like a big, fun robot way.
All right, I'm here joined by Sean Connery, but also Andrew and Nick, two of our STEM educators. Now, this is an office full of some pretty wild stuff, and you pulled some out for us?
We did.
Absolutely.
We've got this weird thing here. All right. So this is a toy that's had its skin removed, and we use this to teach kids how to make their own toys.
Yeah, and I have here a bowling ball with a bolt in it, which I'm going to use to make a pendulum to swing and teach some laws of physics with.
All right, we're now in LaBelle's office, the director of finance. What do you like most about working at the Connecticut Science Center?
I think it's just the environment. I think when you think about science, I think it's a complicated subject, but what it's unique about the Connecticut Science Center, it makes it fun, it makes it engage, have a large basket of people that we kind of serve, from youth to adults to seniors, so it's for everyone.
Thanks, Lavelle, and thank you to all our great team members. I think if we could clone Kayla and the rest of them, we probably would, and nobody would argue with that because they do such a great job. So thank you again to my teammates. Keep up the great work. And I should take a moment also to thank all of those helping to stage this event tonight. I want to thank Whitney and April and Caitlin and our great partners here at Event Resources for helping making this a terrific program, at least I hope it is. And I want to thank you again for supporting us. So here's another big question we get very often. How in the world do you get these giant things like the huge T-Rex or a rocket ship or a glacier, for example, inside the Connecticut Science Center? There's a way.
All right, the Connecticut Science Center, of course, so well known for all of the hands-on interactive exhibits. A lot of them are permanent, but even some of them are part of traveling exhibitions that are up on the 4th floor of the South Tower. Some of them are huge. You just had dinosaurs. How do you get exhibits like that into the Science Center?
Yeah, so we don't get them through the doors that our visitors walk through, right? There's no way they would fit. So this is actually where those exhibits start their journey with us.
Okay.
They come from other science centers, and we get them to us on huge trucks. They back up to these massive loading doors here, and we will unload these massive crates of those exhibits.
All right, so once they get inside, they make another journey. They continue their journey.
Yeah, they're gonna go around this way. Right now we're underneath the science center.
The bowels.
The bowels,
We're in the
yeah,
bowels
that's a
of
good
the
way
science
to
center.
put
Let's
it.
call it what it is.
And so we have to get them up, like you said, to the 4th floor, but we can't use a normal elevator. So that is where this thing comes in here. This is what we call our freight elevator. Now, do you want to take a look inside?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right. That was quite the ride.
Yeah.
And this elevator is huge.
Yeah, this is a really big elevator. So we don't worry about size for fitting our exhibits, but also weight. So this elevator can hold 18,000 pounds.
That's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight.
And you've had some pretty notable people and things in this freight elevator.
Yeah, we've had a Nissan Leaf in here. We've also had a stock car, and even President Joe Biden was in this elevator while he was vice president.
Excellent. Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and once those crates come off the elevator, we're now 4 South, the traveling exhibit space.
Yes. So right now there's not much going on in this space, but soon we'll have mummies from around the world filling this whole area. So definitely come check that out when that is here and open.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Mummies. Human remains preserved for hundreds or even thousands of years. People around the globe have been enthralled with the mummies of Egypt. But mummies come from all over the world. This is the story of a journey through some of the most fascinating but least known mummy collections in existence. Mummies from Europe, Africa, the South Pacific, and South America.
We have human and animal mummies here from 4 continents. We have wrapped Egyptian mummies. We have a 17th century baron who is wearing brand new boots that were put on him at the time of his death. We have 3 mummies that are from the same family. So we have the father and the mother and a child. So we have everything. Somebody will find something to love somewhere. This exhibition really wouldn't have happened without the science that we use to study the mummies. So we're using a lot of medical imaging technology. In our field, that's computer tomography scanning, so that we can see the mummy both inside and out without doing any destructive analyses. No unwrapping is necessary. Not only are we able to study the mummy completely, but we have a complete, permanent, 3-dimensional archive of each single mummy. These are real mummies, real science, real people. We have real human beings whose hearts may no longer be beating, but they're still real people. We use real science to study them and tell their real stories.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Bill Pettit, President of the Pettit Family Foundation. The Pettit Family Foundation has supported women in science initiatives at the Connecticut Science Center over the past decade. To that end, we have created the Pettit Family Foundation Women in Science Leadership Award, which recognizes a woman each year who is a leader and expert in her field, as well as an inspiring mentor to young women entering the field. This year, the Pettit Family Foundation Women in Science Leadership Award goes to Dr. Andrea Quazala. Tonight, you're going to hear Dr. Quazala speak passionately about her journey as an engineer and the unique and interesting work she has done in the area of assistive medical technologies. It is only with the contributions of leaders such as Andrea that we're able to allow people with many types of disabilities to function well in our current modern world. Congratulations to Dr. Quazala. In fact, all the nominees and finalists, because every year that this award has been presented, it's very tight voting and there's not a lot of separation between everybody in the field. So congratulations to all. Thank you for all your great work in inspiring young women in STEM fields. And again, congratulations, Dr. Quazala.
I am Andrea Quazala. I'm a biomedical engineer who does research in assistive technologies and is an educator at Western New England University. I am the 2021 Pettit Family Foundation Women in Science Leadership Award recipient. Biomedical engineering is the study of the human body as we apply math and science to it. So it's like any engineering discipline where we have to be knowledgeable in math, science, technology, and problem solving. But it's unique in the sense that we get to explore the human body and how it works, and also innovate technologies that can help in the medical field. So a lot of the students that graduate with a biomedical engineering degree end up in a medical profession where they're making devices that can help change and impact human health in their innovations in technology. Accessibility, especially as it comes to engineering design, is so critical and so important to me because I think that there's a lack of awareness of some of the challenges that people that are living with disabilities live with. And when we as engineers have the opportunity to innovate and design in their space, we give them opportunities for new tools and new technologies that can help improve their activities of daily living. By being a part of that field, we have the opportunity to impact their lives and to do something that really benefits society in a profound way. I think something that a lot of people don't know about working in assistive technologies, specifically related to prosthetic technologies and making devices for people that are living with disabilities, is some of the challenges and the expectations of an engineer. So we're working in a clinical setting, and as an engineer, we are responsible for making the devices that we make safe and effective. With that responsibility comes this rewarding experience that you get to have when you make a device that works and really does impact a kid's life, and you see them driving the car that you built. You really get the chance to see the impact that you make and the benefit that you can bring to a child's life by being involved in their therapy. And I think that bringing that level of awareness of assistive technologies and how we can make devices for people that are living with disabilities that might have a limb difference, make them even faster and stronger than a typical human being. It changes what we see in terms of disability. It changes it to be about accessibility, and we can create the best version of that person. You don't have to have an engineering degree to expose your kids to this field. You can bring them to places like the CT Science Center, and you can give them that hands-on exposure, that hands-on play that really inspires and motivates kids to consider degrees like engineering. I would thank science for continuously creating this curiosity in me, and opportunities to come to a science center like this and see new technologies every time you walk through the door just gives us this opportunity as engineers. What we crave is this constant improvement, continuous improvement in how we do and how we live. And we know that the sky is the limit and things are always going to evolve as time goes on. My advice to Savani and other young women is to find your village. I think that knowing the people that support you is so critical in your success. There's going to be naysayers, there's going to be people that tell you you're not good enough to go to graduate school. But if you find those people, whether it's your parents or your lab partner who becomes your study buddy, who becomes your best friend and eventually advocates so much for you that they become your husband, thank you, Kyle, then you really get the opportunity to develop these people that surround you with love and motivate you through those hard times. And those people that believe in you and can fundamentally support you are the ones that are going to make sure that you persist in the career that you choose. Thank you, science.
Good evening. My name is Meryl Mallory, and I am the chair of the Women in Science Committee and also a member of the Board of Trustees here at the Connecticut Science Center. I wanted to introduce this evening the Women in Science Initiative, as we'll be making a couple of awards this evening. So our initiative at the Science Center through the Women in Science Committee is all about encouraging girls and young women to enter STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and math, and to really go through and celebrate their accomplishments. We're seeking to bridge the gender gap in the sciences by offering original programming at the Science Center to get girls and women interested in science, and also building a community of women in science to support these efforts. Tonight, I'm excited to introduce our first-time award, which is the Pettit Family Foundation Women in Science Youth Leadership Award. So tonight, our first honoree, Shivani Avrapalli, is nothing short of remarkable, and I'm excited to be able to introduce her to you this evening. To pioneering her role as a plasma cutter for her world-class robotics team, to her community volunteerism, where she encourages young girls to enter STEM fields, we applaud Shivani for all she does. Now, you're going to have an opportunity to meet her and hear from her. Be prepared to be inspired. Congratulations to Shivani, and thank you at home for your support of the Connecticut Science Center this evening. And thank you, science.
Hi, I'm Shivani Avrapalli, and I'm going to be a senior at South Windsor High School. I'm the 2021 Pettit Family Foundation Women in Science Youth Leadership Award recipient. So my experience with FIRST started in 7th grade. I was the only girl on an all-boys team called Team Botics. I then joined our school's robotics team, our high school robotics team, Team 177 Bobcat Robotics. Our team is amazing. We're a world championship team actually, which is just amazing that we're from a small town making a huge impact. And we have placed in worlds multiple times, and I came to the team, I was ready. I was one of the few girls on the team as well. When I was a freshman, I was one of 3 girls. Slowly became one of 5 girls, and I'm hoping that the number of girls on the team increase as years go on. I've been a part of Science Olympiad since 2015, so being a mentor and a tech captain on my team, I'm able to give on my knowledge to new students, and I think that's so important for future generations and passing on the knowledge so our team continues to be successful. I'm also my team's plasma cutter. So a plasma cutter is someone that uses CAD and uses a plasma cutting device to cut out different parts for our robot. I'm my team's main plasma cutter, so I design parts that are huge and really precise. So different parts for our drivetrain that make up the bottom base of our robot, and they're big structures, so different machines in the shop won't be able to do that. And we also make really precise different measurements for the robot as well, such as drilling in 0.5 millimeter holes and making 2x2 squares onto the robot so that controls and different sub-teams on our robotics team are able to make our robot work. So the Power of Peace Group, we are a nonprofit organization of about 20 kids around the state of Connecticut, ranging from middle school to high school. And we have raised over $180,000 for different charities such as CCMC, Food Share, the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, and the Atma Vidya Ashram in Bangalore, India. The main reason I volunteer is to spread smiles, and I think it's important that especially now at my age, kids have to start realizing that volunteering isn't just about the hours. I mean, colleges look at the hours, but it's not about that. It's about feeling good and like it's satisfaction. And I think knowing how fortunate I am, I've been able to want to give equal opportunities to other people who don't have it, like me. So being a young woman of color in STEM, I've had a window of opportunities that I've been able to experience and I'm so grateful for. I've experienced and seen other women of color being discriminated against, and I hope that it's something that doesn't stop people. STEM is honestly an amazing world, and it's such a great experience that people should be able to pursue, and there's so many careers in it, and I think women of color in STEM are able to break down those barriers and succeed. I think I want to thank science for helping me exploit my curious personality and really bring out the creativeness side of me. I haven't been artistic since I was a kid, but I think putting in my creative side into different innovations and projects is something that science has helped me do. Thank you, science.
Stan and I is a proud supporter of the Connecticut Science Center. Its science, technology, engineering, and math programs help to inspire our next generation of innovators. The STEM disciplines represent the foundation of rewarding careers, enabling clean propulsion technologies. We are grateful that the Science Center provides opportunities for students of all ages to experience these fantastic programs. What remarkable stories and remarkable women. This is why we do what we do. We can't do it without you, of course. And if you have not already made a gift tonight, please do consider raising your virtual paddle. Text TY Science to 44321, TY Science to 44321, or you can make a donation through this page, and you continue to do so. Let me thank a few who have given donations just in the past few moments. I want to thank our board member, Lori Hess, and her wonderful husband, David, for your generous support tonight. Liz Latkus and her husband, Rich, thank you. Once again, you're here for us. And Liz, I look forward to working with you in the coming year as the next chair of the Science Center Board of Trustees. And thank you to everyone who's been so generous tonight. And you can still help out. That is what this is all about. If you want to know what goes on behind the scenes, you've seen the fun part. The hard part is making sure we have the resources to keep doing all that great work. Every dollar raised tonight supports the Connecticut Science Center's programs and exhibits for you, our community.
Hi, I'm Andrew, a STEM educator here at the Connecticut Science Center, and I'm at our butterfly encounter with Val, one of our amazing butterfly encounter assistants. Val, what do you have for us today?
Well, Andrew, many people come to the butterfly exhibit to visit our beautiful collection of tropical butterfly and plant species. But I bet many of them don't realize what it takes to get the butterflies in here. Today I'm going to show you just what it takes to get these beautiful creatures in our butterfly exhibit.
Sounds great, let's go!
In order to bring the butterflies here, the Connecticut Science Center had to obtain a special permit from the United States Department of Agriculture, allowing us to host these insects. We do not raise our own butterflies here. Instead, we order them from butterfly farmers around the world. They come to us as pupae, which is their second to last form of metamorphosis before they emerge as adult butterflies. We have over 150 different species to choose from, and we receive 100 to 200 pupae every week to ensure a healthy population of butterflies for our visitors. Most people do not realize that the average lifespan of a butterfly is only 2 weeks for some species. The pupa arrived to us in the United States at a certified import facility. From there, they are rushed to us via FedEx. This process has to be a rush because these are live specimens that cannot tolerate big swings in temperatures. Once they are here, we bring them up to the butterfly encounter. From here, the pupae are carefully unpacked, checked for damage, vitality, and most importantly, any unwanted parasites or harmful insects that may have made the trip with them. As you can see, there is a great diversity among the chrysalids. They come in many different shapes, sizes, and colors depending on the species. We display the pupa in our emergence cabinet, which simulates their natural environment. In order to prepare the pupa, first, we attach the pupa to string using a low-temperature glue gun. Next, we pin the strings of pupa to a foam-covered bar in our emergence cabinet. Inside the emergence cabinet, the temperature is kept at a consistent 75 to 80 degrees, and the humidity is kept at 75% to give the butterflies the best chance to emerge. Somewhere between 1 and 21 days, the butterflies begin to emerge from their chrysalids. However, they cannot be released immediately. Butterflies need to pump their wings to take their shape and to dry off first. Once they are ready, we carefully remove them from the emergence chamber and set them free in our butterfly encounter for you all to enjoy.
Wow, I had no idea so much work went into bringing these butterflies here to the Science Center. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And the next time you come visit the butterfly encounter, just remember, these guys traveled thousands of miles just to be here for you. See you next time.
Well, I hope you have been enjoying tonight's program and learned a little more about what goes on behind the scenes at the Science Center. You can see a lot more behind the scenes content and information on our Down to a Science blog on our website. Before we leave you tonight, we encourage you to continue bidding until the auction closes at 8. You could raise your paddle virtually by texting TY Science to 44321. or you can make a donation right here through this page. Thank you so much. Now's a moment we've all been waiting for tonight. Time to announce the winner of the wine cooler and the $500 gift card to stock it up. Thanks to everyone who purchased a ticket, and congratulations to our friends Dr. William Horgan and his lovely wife, Chrissy. William and Chrissy, enjoy it. Thank you for all the support you've lent to the Science Center over the years and for taking a chance tonight. I'm glad it paid off. Thank you to all the families who tuned in this evening. We hope you are invigorated and encouraged to continue to be curious, follow your passions, and find wonder in science. And to our sponsors, of course, to our Board of Trustees who lead us, to the Gala Committee, I'm personally indebted to you for your dedication, and we are so grateful to you for your financial support tonight. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, in person, at the Connecticut Science Center. Our message resonates now more than ever. Science will find the answers. Science will find a way. It is here to help when we put it to work and follow what it tells us. Science is the way forward. Thank you, and thank you, science.